Hackers and hackerettes, welcome to a new video about SSRF. It turns out I solved all of these thinking I was recording, but I was not recording. So yeah, we're gonna run through SSRF. Essentially, SSRF is server-side request forgery. It means if you have watched my CSRF before, you know CSRF is client-side, so we make the browser or like the client do a request that we control. On the other side is SSRF, or server side. We make the server do a request that we can control. So if you haven't watched my CSRF, I do recommend that you do. We have two types, just like almost anything that we've been seeing so far. We have regular and then we have blind SSRFs. The impact of SSRFs, you could have access to internal endpoints, sensitive data exposure, internal network reconnaissance, cloud metadata theft, credential and token leakage, and so on. So these are just like static questions. So this IP address, just keep this in mind. We're going to copy this because you can see that cloud providers such as AWS, GCP, and Azure expose an instance metadata at this internal IP address. So an attacker who reaches this endpoint can retrieve like some data. So this is important to like memorize. So I'm going to like copy it. 169.254, 169.254. And then credential and token leakage, so on. So static questions, SSRF stand for server-side request forgery. Opposed to regular, what is the other? It is blind. So we do have two types here, regular and blind. We're just gonna like go through this so it doesn't feel like a lecture, which is something that I hate myself. I was able to solve this and get the flag. I'm gonna show you how to solve that. Essentially, we are implementing or like hacking a static website here that is sending an SSRF. By the way, this is not like a real server or like a real thing. This is like THM is expecting a static input that you should input, and then based on it, they will give you the flag. Like you're not really sending a request here. So the thing that we should see, the objective is that we're trying to make an SSRF request to this endpoint, okay? Now this endpoint is essentially what we need to copy right here. And then if you see that whenever we update the server, it updates the subdomain here in this requesting thing. I think it's visible. So yeah, whenever we update this, it's going to update a subdomain. So the trick here is that we input the entire like thing, and then we can do and x equals. And then when we do that, we just need to remove the HTTPS and stuff like that. So that way this works is that we now have the full link that we have like right here. And then we have the flag with ID equals 9. And then the rest of the like previous website is right now as a query parameter that's completely going to be ignored. So once we click enter, you get your flag right here, SSRF master. Pass it in here and all good. If you don't understand this, don't worry. We're going to do the SSRF practical together. I have not done it like out of the video. I realized before I did it that I was not recording. So we'll be doing that together, and I'll be going in blind in there. So you do have a couple of ways to identify SSRF. Essentially, you just want to look for parameters usually in the query URL, or like in a post request that potentially could have an impact on the location that the server is calling, essentially. So based on a simple observation, which of the following URLs is more likely to be vulnerable to SSRF? It is the third one, because it looks like there's a file name and there's a link here as well, like a website that you're calling and a port and stuff like that. So it looks like you're trying to fetch a file. This is the name of the file, this is where to fetch it from, and this is the port. This is just like screaming SSRF essentially. Okay. Now in order to defeat SSRF, you usually have like open something like allowlists and deny lists. So deny list is like a blacklist. So essentially you just block things from the input, and then allow lists, you only allow what you want to see in these and block everything else. Allow lists is the better option to use, of course. The more explicit you are, the safer you are. Then you have an open redirect. Open redirect is essentially a way to make requests to any URL that you control. So the web server or like the server is going to accept a URL from you where they will do a redirect to. So we can just manipulate where the redirection happens to somewhere that we own. And this is a big problem. What method can be used to bypass strict rules? Open redirect. What IP may contain sensitive data? There you go. This is why we've been saving this IP address for. Used to permit only certain, allow lists, stop certain inputs, deny lists. Okay. So now let's actually start on the practical. So I connected to the VPN of THM. I'm going to start EWSL. Let's see if Firefox works, because I had a problem with it yesterday and I did not restart my computer. And unfortunately, oh, it did work. Cool. Start new session. Awesome. And let's actually open the IP address of this thing. And then we have Acme IT support, which is lovely stuff. Now, if you don't know why I'm opening my Firefox like that and why it's working, I am using WSL or Windows Subsystem for Linux. So I'm running like a native Linux inside Windows. If you don't know about that, just Google WSL or WSL2 and you'll get the gist of it. So I'm running Firefox from inside this Ubuntu WSL. And that way it has access to the VPN connection, because I'm using OpenVPN to connect from inside the WSL. This is why I like open Firefox from inside the WSL and not just use Chrome like that. Because if I use Chrome to navigate like that, it's not going to work, because my host machine, like my Windows machine, is not actually connected to the OpenVPN of TryHackMe. Okay. So let's take a look around. Let's actually go down, all the way down, and then the idea here looks like the flag is going to be base 64. So what is the flag from the private directory? Let's just see if we can access the private directory. You can access this page from your IP address. Okay, cool. Let's keep this open. And let's see, maybe the network contact. Oh, we can send a message here. This is cool. Let's see if we can send test@test.com, testing, send message, contact form sent. It sends a post request. THM got Ajax flag. Okay. This is probably like a reused lab, because I don't think we are in Ajax anyway. So we're only requesting a flag from the private directory. This is probably like a reused application. So yeah, we'll just ignore this. So don't have account. I don't think we care about an account right now. Go back to home. Let's see what this image is about. So this image is being loaded from assets. Let's see. Let's go to assets. Okay, we can do some navigation. There's a flag right here. Invalid directory permissions. Yeah, this is definitely a reuse. I remember this flag before. So essentially we are trying to find a way to access a file. Or like to send a request from within the application itself. Okay. So it looks like news was an ID. This image, wait a sec. This here looks interesting. ID equals 1. What if I do ID equals private? Is that gonna work? No, article not found. Okay. If I do something like this, no. Okay, what if I do assets? And then in assets, I do something like that. Is that gonna work? Nope. So I tried to access the page directly. Okay. Let's read the JavaScript here. Maybe there's something there. Let me just zoom this in a bit so it's easier to read on your end. contact message, input val, function, alert. So it just does nothing. It posts to contact message, but it does nothing with the data. So yeah, we don't care about that. Avatars, interesting. So we have avatars 1.png, 2.png. I don't see these avatars being loaded anywhere. All right, let's go to the customers. Let's see if we can sign up. So looks like we can. Username admin, 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 admin. An account with that username already exists. Can we log in using admin, admin? Admin, administrator? No. Okay. Let's sign up as like a real user. So like real user at user.com. Real user. Okay. Support tickets, your account, and then log out. Okay. It's like we can create a ticket here. So test and test. But before I send that, my Firefox just completely crashed. Include the address of the page, tell Mozilla, check hardware and configuration. Do nothing, please. Just restart. This is like a messy setup anyway, so I don't really care. Restore session. So go back here, customers. Okay, we are still logged in at least. So let's look at the network. I'm gonna reload here, gonna remove all of this. Just gonna send test, create ticket, and it looks like we are hitting a tickets endpoint. Shouldn't there be like a post request here? So we do have a ticket open, and then we have ticket. Oh, it looks like it doesn't store log. It's probably why we didn't get the point here. So ticket 4, ticket 8. Oh, is it tickets? Yeah, tickets. Tickets 2. Nothing here that makes sense. Okay. I don't see anything that might be like calling a web server. You have one support ticket open. It's this one. Okay. Or not admin, but like real users, and then I don't even remember the password that I did. Was a real user real user? Yes, it was. Okay. So right here, can we just do a script like alert hello? Maybe if we can do like an XSS here. Okay, so wait, does this thing just? Oh yeah, I thought so. So it's not saving the thing here. Okay, looks like we're in the wrong area right now. Let's take a look around here. Wow, we work on the new homepage, new home beta. Ooh. Let's try that. Let's see what we have. HTML comments are dangerous. Okay. So, are we even on the right thing here? So, we are on the correct lab machine. Your virtual environment has been set up. All machine details can be found at the top of the page, which is the thing that we are connected to. So, I don't know. Looks like we are in the correct thing. Just keep looking around somehow. don't know if there is something here that's actually vulnerable to an SSRF attack. So news, like this premium customer blocker thing, we can just delete it. And then you have THM not so hidden. But then this thing, there's nothing here still that, like that would like load or like do an SSRF. So yeah, I remember this context thing where it shows like a flashing thing here. Already solved that before. I think the flag was catch me if you can up here, which was part of a previous challenge. This actually making me wonder, is this even the correct thing? I actually don't know. Let me take a look here. Let me just peek. So observe how the server handled. Locate the avatar feature. It contains restricted content that is only accessible. And launch the Acme. Once running, visit it at and follow this. Okay, whatever. Create a customer account. Navigate to customer's new account page. Where is this new account page even coming from? Like, I am a customer right now, and there's nothing that tells me that there's a new account page. Like, new account page. How the hell am I supposed to know that? I actually want to, like, look around. There has to be something that I missed. Is there even a mention of new... What the hell, man? Like, am I supposed to actually read the... Like, am I supposed to, like, read the instructions? Is this like a guided solution that I should read and cannot figure out myself? This site is just for contact page, so... Well, we figured it out, I guess. So anyway, we do have the avatar here, and then we can click update avatar. So if you look at the network, this thing is not saving logs. So let's just do persist logs. Okay, I hope that fixed it. So I'm gonna select an avatar here, update avatar. Settings. Oops. Open the network. Persist logs. Update. And then there's the post request. So assets avatars 1.png. There's no response. Okay. URL. Oh, okay. So we're hitting a URL here. But no, actually, this is the like us, the client, doing that in the HTML. But this means no, actually, this means that the image is just being converted to base 64. But wait, does that mean that the image that we do upload? Wait. Maybe that explains why it's actually base 64. Hold up. The value that we're gonna update here is going to be private. Okay. And then let's see what happens. So I'm gonna select this because I have the value private. I'm gonna update. URL cannot start with private. Ooh. Okay. It looks like we are on the right track. So we just need somehow a way to bypass this thing. So can we do something like this? Invalid response received. Okay, so we got an invalid response. So it did not set the private. Okay. Let's see. So if we do /private, it says that we cannot start the URL cannot start with private. So that means somewhere there is a like this /private is being filtered. What if we just URL encode the slash? Let's try that. URL encoder, and then I'm using this so often. So %2f, and then we just do private. Let's see if that bypasses it. Update. Avatar updated. Awesome. Ooh, let's go. We actually got the base 64 of the flag right here. Look at that. Right here, baby. So what we could do is let's just open a get bash or whatever. We can just echo this and then base 64-d. You worked out the SSRF. Boom. We got it. We got it. So this actually was a really good exercise. I am happy I got it like alone without hacking, without cheating. But the only thing I do not understand is how I'm supposed to know about this new account page. I don't understand this. In the source, each avatar option is a radio button whose value attribute contains the path to an image file. Background image CS property on the surrounding div element confirms this. So it's like this URL thing. Yeah, so essentially when you're trying to load the images, you're loading them like you're using the URL to load the image itself here. Okay. The server uses the value from this field to fetch the resource. If the value is not validated, it can be redirected to any path on the server, which is great. So then when we select an avatar, this is like using a normal image. And expect the avatar is now rendered using the data URI scheme with the data image content base 64 encoded in the source attribute. This behavior is significant. The server fetches the resource at the path specified in the form field, reads the response, and encodes it into the page. If the server can be directed to fetch the /private instead of an image, the contents will appear as base 64 encoded data in the base source. Attempt to direct access to /private. So when we did that, you just get the URL cannot start with private. The application has a deny list that blocks requests where the path begins with /private, but this was kind of easy. So the deny list performs a string match against the start of the path. However, as covered in task 4, deny lists that only check the raw input can be bypassed using directly traversal. Change the radio button's value to x /private. So the input value, the deny list checks the raw string. It does not begin with /private, so the check passes. Path normalization, the web resolves by entering directory x, then moving up one level with back or // arriving at /private. Okay. I actually don't know, like, doesn't this mean that private or slash private? Oh, but I guess we are starting from like the root path. Okay. But would this actually, let me try it. Let me just try it, okay? I'm gonna open on Ubuntu. So what I'm trying here, or what I want to understand is that if there is no directory X, would this fail or not? So right now we are in like a Ubuntu. So if I do uname tag A, you can see that this is a Linux, but it is a like Microsoft Standard WSL2. It is an Ubuntu release. So we are in a Linux environment. So if I do cd and then this, it tells me no such file or directory. But if I make a directory called private, permission denied for me. What do you mean, brother? I am the boss. I'm your boss. Anyway, let's go back to our like root directory, or our home directory. So I'm gonna make a directory called private, and then I'm gonna cd. So yeah, it fails, even though we exist, and there is a private folder right here. This does not work. Wait, maybe because I'm guessing because the private does not exist at the slash root, so it's not slash private. It's actually like this. Yeah. But when I try to do that, like, would this work? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if so like if we go to the root here, we could just like sudo make directory private. So then we could have a private directory here that does nothing. And then we can like cd x private. Still doesn't work. I don't know why this would work on a Linux environment. Honestly, maybe I'm missing something. If you know where I'm missing, or if you know the solution to this, please let me know in the comments below. One thing that I actually wanna see is that sometimes in the debrief, so like here they give us free links. Oh, I don't get it this time. Okay, so on the last video and in the XSS, I had free links that I could share with 2 people that would give you free access to this premium room. But it looks like I will not get them every time. So anyway, if you've watched till this point, thank you so much for watching. And I will see you in the next one, which is going to be iDoor. See ya.